Hi, this is Terri. Welcome back to my channel, and we are continuing with the theme of it's been a doozy of a week.
Seriously, Mother?
I know. But we're going to shift gears very quickly to talk about the themes of this particular episode, which is all about opportunity. And in light of everything that's going on with COVID-19 and the anxiety and the fear and the uncertainty and the panic and the sheltering in home, I think in Sacramento right now, Governor Newsom is probably announcing a statewide lockdown. It's about time. But with all of this, I am still optimistic, hopeful, and I see massive opportunities. And that's in large part because of what I'm seeing a lot of women doing in terms of stepping in to fill some gaps, innovating creatively, and coming together in ways that I have never seen before. We are having virtual happy hours, cocktail hours, calls with people from around the world. We are making time for each other, and we are making time to support each other. It is overwhelming in a positive way in terms of the ways that I see women really doing what I thought that we would be doing, which is taking the steps to move forward and change the world and make it a better place for all. As to where I want to start today, well, earlier I had my Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, third happy hour of the week, the third virtual happy hour of the week. On Tuesday, Jen LeBlanc pulled together a group of Changing Tides women, and I think there were about a dozen of us on the call. And we touched base, talked about what was going on, supported each other, and there was some connecting and some business happening on the call as well. And then on Wednesday night, Anne Coquette did a virtual book club for Piloting Your Life, which turned into pretty much a virtual happy hour. And I shifted from my author hat to my investor hat and fielded questions around what does this mean if you're fundraising as a woman founder? What does this mean for the future of investing? And so I quickly shifted gears. We broke off into some side groups and had some smaller conversations. And then tonight, I'm recording this on Thursday for Saturday. We had I actually hosted a little happy hour with a friend in Nicaragua, my friend Christy Nichols. And then another friend who's up in Marin, Mandy Bateman. And what was really extraordinary about that one is I realized after we started talking that Christy's business has pretty much tanked because it's travel related, retreat related, but Mandy's business has gone through the roof because she's providing a platform for coaches and Pilates instructors and yoga instructors and meditation people and people who are doing virtual retreats to basically offer their services from the comforts of their own homes, since all of the studios are currently closed. And I was like, wait a second, what if Christy offered a virtual retreat using Mandy's platform? So they are going to be talking. So it was total serendipity. And what I love about the term serendipity is I met Mandy and Christy both at Anne Coquette's Serendipity Conference in the last 2 years. You've got to love this. I mean, we've been planting seeds for years, and I think the seeds are definitely sprouting, and we are seeing some beautiful relationships blooming as a result. What I absolutely love about these virtual happy hours or cocktail hours is that we can do them from the comfort of our own homes. We don't have to worry about the logistics of travel, parking, who's going to pay for what. Having to defend whether you're drinking or you're not drinking. You can drink what you want and then not have to worry about driving home if you so choose. We can hop on for an hour. We can stay on for 2. Companies like Zoom are extending the 40-minute limit for free events. And so instead of 40 minutes, we went for an hour and 10 today. And I love how some of these technology companies are really enabling us to connect and collaborate and build relationships, which is what we women do exceptionally well. And you know what? We are not going back to the way it was before. What was normal before, we are creating what the new normal is. We are expanding our opportunities. We are expanding our world. And a lot of us women need a little extra flexibility, and you know what? Doing things virtually and connecting remotely allows for that flexibility. It means that if you have kids and you need to pick them up from daycare and you can't make that happy hour that happens after work, and then you miss out on the opportunities to connect, you know what? Nobody can do that right now. So we're all doing that virtually. So those opportunities that were not available to some women and, some men, it's, we're balancing it. We're making it a lot more equitable. So we are creating the new normal. And the other thing that I'm seeing is women stepping in to fill the gaps and being incredibly innovative in doing so. So one of my portfolio companies is Send a Ride, and the founder CEO is a woman, an extraordinary woman named Laura Fleet. She's based out of Oklahoma City. Now her company is concierge level non-emergency medical rides, and what that means is she helps people get to and from healthcare appointments. And obviously right now it's not business as usual, and she sees a community need, and she wants to make sure that she retains the drivers that they've onboarded and they've trained. I'm assuming this is the case. And so they are offering free rides to people to donate blood. They are offering delivery of pharmacy items, medical supplies, and even meals to kids who are not able to get access to meals. So she's using the platform she set up, she's using the drivers, and she's filling a community need. And in doing so, I think is just expanding not only goodwill, the brand, but also making sure that when things go back to whatever a new normal is, that she doesn't have to start over in the 3 markets that they're in Oklahoma City, Tulsa, and the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Shannon Kenny with Prontopia, she has another concierge type of company, but it's travel concierge, and her primary market has been in Italy. Well, obviously there's no travel happening there. So what they're doing is the concierges who are familiar with the communities and familiar with everything else, they are delivering medical supplies, they are delivering groceries, they are delivering things within the communities and leveraging the platform that Shannon has built up. And they're very tied into what the local community needs. I was on a call with her the other night, and I heard her talking about them having the data around the members of the community that they're sharing with the local municipalities. Talk about taking advantage of a bad situation and turning it into an opportunity to do something good. And as I talked about earlier, my friend Mandy, who has this platform for instructors who don't have the ability to teach in yoga studios or Pilates studios, she is making it so that they can provide virtual trainings through the platform. They can still generate some money, so they're not completely destitute at the end of this crisis. And so she's been working like crazy to make sure that the instructors are given the right technical tools to be able to deliver to their customer base. And they may now have a totally new way of delivering their services. The other thing that I'm seeing happen is that women are able to bring their whole selves to this situation, their empathetic selves, their ability to build relationships and think beyond the transactional. My friend Candace is stuck in Iowa right now. She was working with someone who had been exposed to someone who had COVID-19, and she doesn't want to get her family sick. And so she's waiting out the 14 days after she thinks she had the last exposure to the person. So she's being overly generous and overly cautious. And she is having a rough week. She's away from her family. Her hotel is no longer serving food. Fortunately, she has a kitchen, so she's stocked up. The hotel was cleaning her room for the very last time yesterday, and she's all alone. She doesn't have a car. It's 35 degrees outside. It's raining. She was in a rough place. But we talked about it, and the one thing that she was really missing was her ability to give back to the community. This is something that is very important to her. And as much as I said, look, you've given, and now it's time to take, that didn't sit well. So she sat down with the program coordinators and talked about what was going on. And then she opened up and shared with the other participants in the group what she was going through. She allowed herself to be vulnerable. And what that did was it helped to open up the conversation. She was able to connect with the other people within her group on a much, much greater level and humanize the situation so that it wasn't simply transactional and business, and they're able to support each other. And this is something Candace has brought to the program the entire time. But we women are so often forced to be businesslike and not bring our emotions and not bring this to the table. And yet these are the things that are so fundamental in who we are, and they are absolutely necessary, especially in times like this, in times of crisis. And that's why I see this as a tremendous opportunity, and I do not see us going back to the way things have always been. There are going to be a lot of men, and probably some women too, who are going to want it to go back to the way that it was, but we're past that point. And we have an opportunity as women to come together to continue to really change the way that we operate in the world and expand the possibilities and make it better for all of us. It's not just women who are going to benefit. All of us are going to benefit. And I know it's going to be a struggle for some to see, especially those who see that life is pie or it is a zero-sum game. I am 100% confident that we can positively, we can come out of this in a positive way. It's going to hurt. It's going to be hard. It's going to take us a while, but change is always difficult. But I'm absolutely confident that we're going to be able to do this. I was talking with my friend Cindy, who's based in Sacramento, and one of the things that she reminded me to point out is this is not a men versus women kind of thing. This is an and, this is not an or. I don't know if I've talked about it yet, but I am really concerned about my son's mental health. I believe that young men, especially Gen Z men right now, are in this weird halfway state. We are shifting from how men were supposed to be and into a place where how men can have more emotion, be more empathetic, and embrace more of their feminine side without being seen as less of men. And I really feel for them. I really feel for my son. While we're providing more clear paths on how the girls and women can be in the world, I think we're having a tougher time providing the boys and the men with the opportunities to see what is possible and how to operate differently and behave differently in the world. And I think it's a tough time, and I don't have the answers on this, and I am hopeful that we can continue to support, guide, and encourage in a positive direction as we transition to a more balanced and equitable society where men and women are treated equally, have equal opportunities, and the work that I'm doing on focusing on women is really to try to tip the scales or tip the balance so that we can get closer to an equitable situation. But it can come across as if I'm anti-men. I'm absolutely not anti-men. I believe in a more balanced and equitable society, and that's what I'm absolutely working towards. And I will probably gasp my last dying breath speaking about this, because I believe so much in not only women claiming their power, our power, to either individually or collectively to change the world, but really in operating and being in the world so that, once again, we can make the world a better place for all. So I'm encouraged about the collaboration. I'm encouraged about the innovation. I'm encouraged about how women are stepping up to support other women. I'm just delighted, and it just sparks joy in my heart at a time when there's a lot of very surreal and unusual things going on. We are in an unprecedented time, and we don't know how long we're going to be here. We don't know what it's going to look like on the other side. But I'm hopeful and optimistic that we are going to be able to get to a better place. It just might take a little bit of time. As my friend Christy said today, this is not the end of the story. This is not where it all ends. And so with that, Ray, is there anything else I should cover?
Nah, I think you're good.
Okay, Ray's having a tough time keeping Violet, our dog, from walking around so you don't hear the clickety click. She just got back from a walk and she wants a little bit, I think, of my attention. Do you think that's what
definitely.
it is? So I think that's about it. So thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. And if you know others in the world who are struggling with feeling optimistic or seeing what the opportunities and possibilities are that can come out of this, feel free to share this video. Until next time, take some risks, but remember, not health risks, and don't put anybody else at risks.
No licking doorknobs.
No licking doorknobs. Let go of perfection, and above all else, have some fun.